Hour 2, Freeform Friday, Dennis Callahan featuring Minahan. So that would mean 7, 8, 9. 2 more hours with Kirk, and then Sporty will come in because Kirk wants to leave at 9 o'clock.
No, Sporty's been retired.
He's done?
Sporty's done. I'm done. I'm not doing
You
Sporty
okay today?
anymore.
You asked me that question yesterday. You said, are you okay, Dino? You okay, Kirk?
Yeah, I'm all right today.
Yeah?
I'm okay. Yeah.
How was the therapy yesterday? Go well?
I would say it was about the same as always. Pretty much counterproductive. Didn't do me any good.
Really?
So
you don't walk out of there feeling good?
Refreshed?
No, I don't. I do not.
Do you feel like you're making progress?
I bring my son to it. I'm like LaRoche. He gets to run around. It's not a distraction, I don't think.
Do you ever think of just terminating
Yes,
the
often I think.
arrangement?
Yes.
And going back to, whatever, drinking.
Yes.
And
Oh, don't do that.
Why not?
hookers.
How do we know that's bad? It's been so long for me now. I don't even know if it's. I feel like I could have a couple of beers a week now. Shots I couldn't drink. Beer, but I do wonder if I started drinking beer.
Then it's a gateway. It's a gateway drug.
When I started having shots, maybe not.
Is that how it used to work, or did you just start with shots when you were drinking?
When we went out, Curtis and Bradford and I went out. That is, can I say it's a sausage fest? Or
Boy,
no?
it is.
Am I allowed to say that?
Yes.
Well, Buck won't like
it's
it, but you can go ahead and
homophobic,
say it.
but you can say it.
We got this great plate of nachos, this delicious plate of nachos. Bradford had one of these local beers down there, and I thought, would the world end? Just a nice cold beer. You had about 3,000 of them down there.
Yeah.
With your dinner. Would the world end if I had 2 of those at my dinner?
No. The
If
world
you
wouldn't
only
end.
had 2, no.
Right. I'm at the point now, I'm 41, I'm a little mellower now. Could I just have a couple of beers with dinner?
Well, here's the answer to that question with a question. Was your MO back in the day one that once you had one seemed like a good idea, 10 was a great idea?
Yeah, well,
Then that chemistry
but I
hasn't
started.
changed.
But I started with the screaming Nazis with the Rumpelmans and Jägermeister. I didn't have a couple of beers.
I can't picture even you ordering a screaming Nazi at your
That's what I'm saying.
advanced age.
Right.
That's kid stuff. I don't think you'd do that.
But I was never like a guy. I was never like a 2-beer guy. I was never a beer drinker like you. I mean, I would have beer, but it was never a big part of my thing.
Do you ever have a martini?
No.
Because that would be like the adult version of a screaming Nazi.
Right. No.
Otherwise known as loudmouth soup.
Yes, I would not. That's not for me. But
See, then maybe you could do
a
it.
couple of suds, like Tim Robbins says in Shawshank Redemption, makes a man feel more like a man.
Yeah, but see,
Timothy Robbins gave up drinking after his wife got murdered, and he wouldn't even have a beer in prison.
I thought that was Rob Lowe.
Tim Robbins wouldn't?
He wouldn't have a beer.
Oh, that's right. He didn't have it.
He said,
no.
"I gave up drinking."
I gave up drinking.
And then they sit and drink the beer, and the guard takes that evil guard.
Yeah, the guy who cries when he gets arrested.
Yeah, takes a beer, but he
But
never has one.
There's something
Alluring.
a little emasculating about when you go out to eat at like Twin Peaks or go out and I'll have a beer, I'll have a beer,
You get a
I'll have a
Pepsi.
beer, I'll have a Coke. I mean, I just want to have a beer.
Yeah, but a
you
man's
feel
got to
better.
know
Give me a
his
beer.
limits.
Give me a beer.
Yeah, get him a beer now. Let's see what happens.
I could drink 1 beer today. The world won't end.
Why
will
not?
it?
There's probably beers around this building in the down at AAF.
Oh, I'm sure LB has
I'm
some
sure
beer.
there are.
The refrigerator down there.
Sometimes I think I'm
after
just,
St.
sometimes I-
Patrick's Day?
Sometimes I think we're just being wimps. We're just not tough enough. Maybe Jerry's right.
Yeah,
It's
well,
not a sickness.
listen,
Jerry's
I'm no
right. It's a
expert.
weakness.
I didn't say that.
You've suggested it in the past.
I have not.
You certainly have.
I can
It's
only
not an
speak for
addiction,
myself
it's a
here.
weakness.
Whether
you
it's
said.
alcohol from beer or alcohol from a screaming Nazi or a martini, once that hits your brain, that thing, for me, flips over.
Right.
Yeah, and it's if I said to myself, and this was like last opening day, I could have one here on opening day.
It worked out fine.
It worked out horribly. Well, in the
time
end, it
off from
worked out
work.
okay. I had been 30 days without it, and I said, you know what? I'm here in the EEI box. I'm just going to sit here. It's a lovely day. We've been through a rat's ass winter, and the bunting is out, and the grass is green, and it's opening day, and I got 3 hours to kill. Nobody's going to know, and I'll have one. Bang!
But there are guys who were, hardcore crazy. Like Don Henley's a guy like this. He was a nut, but now occasionally he'll have some wine with dinner, he says. He's okay with it. He's
Right.
able to govern it.
It's that a lot of people go to the red wine, Kirk.
Yeah, I don't like the taste of wine. It doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah, but
Red or white?
It
But
does.
a nice
it does the
beer.
trick.
But I would think a nice beer, there are times during the week even when I'm up, you wake up in the middle of the night and you're awake. If I have a couple of beers at night, that probably knocks me out.
Yeah, I do.
I'd only ask 3 beers apiece for each of my coworkers.
Co-workers, get in. That's rich, ain't it?
I think a man working outdoors feels more like a man if you can have a bottle of suds.
A bottle of
What
suds.
a great scene that is.
It is such
That's
a
what I'm
great
saying. I
scene.
feel like a man is more of a man if he's at Twin Peaks having a sud. Not a
A suds,
Pepsi.
some suds.
I think it's
Yeah.
more admirable, actually.
I'm not interested in
Well,
being
wait a minute.
admired.
You're the guy.
I'm very admired already.
You are the guy that won't wear the green on St. Patrick's Day because you want to be different. What's wrong with being the guy at Twin Peaks that doesn't order the beer?
No, you're right, but it just would relax me a little more, I think. You get to the hotel back and you're wired because I have 6 Pepsis.
Did I give you a neuro couple of months ago?
That's what you called it, yeah. I had a lot of.
It was the
I had
cause cocktail.
A lot of weird bumps the next morning.
Yeah. No,
I've never peed that way before.
the
Yeah, but
neuro,
that's-
the little orange neuro.
but that feels not safe to me.
Oh, it's just melatonin.
I want to. I'm going to start drinking beer. I think.
I don't think that's a good
I think it's
that's a good move.
think it's a
Kirk.
really
So
good
you're
idea?
going to quit your
Shrink and start
your
drinking.
shrink and quit the shrink, start to drink.
Well, I've talked to her.
and then talk to your bartender instead.
I've talked to her about that. Was maybe just a beer or two every once in a while.
What does your wife or your parents have to say about that?
They're not wild about the idea,
Yeah.
but maybe it'll be fine.
Did your wife know you when you were drinking?
Yes.
And did she like you when you were drinking?
No, she doesn't like me now though, so that doesn't matter.
What's the difference, right?
I'm going to do it. Get a beer in here.
No, you don't want
I
to
don't
drink
think
beer
so.
at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Why not? I'm
And
driving
maybe
home.
yesterday.
Human resources might be waiting for you at 10 o'clock.
Maybe yesterday that would have been okay. But runners, you distance runners,
Oh, yeah.
often drink beer. Obviously, you don't have to worry about burning it off.
Yeah,
but
Bob Gamere was a big beer drinker.
It's,
Marathon
it's
runner.
part of the
We
culture.
have
Yeah.
a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
I almost a couple years ago took a sip of a beer at like mile 23 in the marathon.
Now
We were
that's
handing out
stupid.
beers.
Accidentally or on purpose?
Just
that
because I
beer-
was so out of it.
That beer mile thing is so stupid.
No, but you at the end of like a marathon, you don't even care at that point. You
But when
eat
you're
or drink
done,
anything.
absolutely.
No, like mile 25 when you're just looking to put something in your body.
Yeah, but won't that go right to your brain if you're dehydrated?
I would
Boom.
vomit.
I would vomit if I drank Curtis's beer. That would make me vomit.
Oh, God, you're never going to let me forget
Nope.
that, are you?
Nope.
Never.
Nope.
I have
Nope.
no problem with it. I will own up to that for the rest of my days.
Has your body
I'm
changed
fine.
at all?
I'm fine.
How do you
Fine.
gauge when you're going to have 2 versus 3 or 1 versus
He doesn't
2?
gauge. There's no
Gauge?
Gauge, yeah. Like, do you like
He
take?
passes out. That's his
Oh, is that what it
gauge.
is?
Yeah.
So after 6, you pass
Well,
out.
how many
you're done?
beers is too many for you?
Yeah,
If we
exactly.
go
That's
out.
what I'm
Hey,
asking.
I can't do more than like 4 or 5
Yeah.
in this day and age. Maybe
Right.
on the 4th of July, but I get I get a little bloated.
Do you have beer like at home during the week?
No,
Like you won't have a beer, you won't sit on the couch like Archie. You're not gonna have your beer.
no,
and watch.
maybe on the weekend, but during the week I have red wine during the week when I'm
Ooh.
like you, a wired.
Captain Hardo.
That's instead of having neuro.
Right.
Instead of having neuro.
Well, he said he wanted to relax and fall asleep at night. Neuro
right.
will
So
do that
I
for you.
recommend red wine. That puts me to sleep.
Well, that's that. But is that gonna help me to drink red wine? You tell me I can't drink beer. Why should I be able to drink red
I
wine?
didn't tell you couldn't drink beer.
You want me to drink beer?
I don't. It's up to you, Kirk. You're an adult.
Let's say that we went out. What's our next remote? Hartford, probably.
No, we're doing. It's a remote opening day at Fenway Park.
Happy anniversary.
Oh my
No,
God!
but we stay over somewhere and we go out and I order a beer or dinner. Are you going to ask me anything, or are you just going to sit there and not
Ask
mention
you
it?
anything like what?
Like, why are you ordering this? Are you okay?
I'm going to watch and marvel at.
So you won't say anything.
I'll
you wouldn't
say,
say
boy,
anything.
you
I'll
are-
monitor you.
I'll say,
monitor
boy,
me?
you
Yeah.
are weak.
Because if you go, do you guys make screaming Nazis? I'll say, whoa, that's it.
Pretty easy. You get a little Rumpelmans, you get a little Jägermeister, you put them together, and it's right there. I can still feel it.
Well, you're not going to drive, right? You're going to. You're
Drive
not
a
going
You
to
car?
crawl back to your
drive a
room.
car.
After I drink?
Yes.
No.
Good.
I think
That's the most important
You've done
thing.
that before.
Oh my God! Back in the day, thousands of miles. I would say.
Brent's up in New Hampshire. Brent, what is on your mind?
Hi, guys. How's it going?
Hi, Brent.
Hi. Not to be taking any race inventory here, but Kirk, if you start drinking again, it's all over.
You think so?
You're going absolutely. His behaviors, I believe, and maybe I'm wrong, but I see a lot of behaviors. I hear a lot of behaviors. I see a lot of behaviors in people that don't drink, the same behavior they have when they drink. And, they call them dry drunks. I know, John, you've mentioned that before about, people that are dry drunks that have the same behaviors they have when they were drinking. They're not drinking anymore. And, your body knows no difference between, wine, beer, and, a shot of, whiskey. So if you start drinking again, I'm telling you right now, you're going to lose your family. You're going to lose all your dreams that you have right now going forward.
Your podcast will go down the drain.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Not
Everything's
sold.
gonna
Not
go.
sold yet.
And what I'm going to finish, what I'll finish with here is you need to get your ass to a meeting.
Oh, I go to plan. Believe me, that's not an issue. Trust me. Thank you.
All right, well,
Thank
I
you.
Are
I
you still
appreciate
going to
your
go to
concern.
meetings after you start drinking
Oh,
again?
believe me, I've seen enough of that. That is done all the time.
What?
People who are still drinking go to meetings.
Oh, they do?
Of course.
But do you admit it?
Well, I mean, ideally they do. Yeah. Some don't, and people leave and they say, "Oh, well, he's drinking." Like
Does
Dino
any-
opening day. Oh yeah, you'll be fine.
It'll be fine. Just
Yeah.
one.
Does anybody show up drunk at meetings?
It's happened.
I
I
bet
actually,
it
I
has,
don't think
yeah.
I've ever seen anybody stumbling like Dennis Hopper and Hoosiers.
Right.
No, that'll be me like next Wednesday at about 7:30 for headlines. I'll come in here.
Yeah. Dexter has a good suggestion. Just smoke some weed.
I know somebody tweeted.
Well,
that
that'll
at me.
calm you down.
Never been a weed guy.
Well,
Don't do
we're
the
talking about
synthetic stuff,
exploring
though.
new things here.
There is marijuana talk around my family right now, so maybe I will.
What does that mean?
Maybe I will get into that.
It comes in pills.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not.
It's not the same?
Would it be helpful if I read to you my
Can I
rehab
cut up and
notes?
snort it?
I don't think so. You
Shoot
just
it in a
pop
vein?
a pill.
Yeah. Anally,
It's
is
called
that done, or is that
Marinol.
done
I'm not
in
sure it's the same buzz.
It's not like a.
Not like a Cheech and Chong thing. No.
Okay. You put it in your mouth.
Yeah.
No, forget it. You read me what?
I said, would it be helpful if I read you some of my rehab notes? I took voluminous notes for that month out there.
You were there for a month?
Yeah. 27 days, yeah.
Would it be helpful?
Yeah,
No.
I have them right in front of me, my
No.
rehab notes.
No, we
you don't want the help?
I'm fine. I'll be okay.
But you said you're thinking, one of them is you relapse in your mind long before you actually relapse and pick up a drink. See, you're starting to relapse now in your mind because you're considering it.
You think so?
Well, that's it.
Well, I'm
Would
just
you
trying.
agree?
No, yes, but I think at some point as an adult, you get to an age where you say it's been long enough, and you say, maybe I've grown past that stage, and I can have a beer or two. I can go out at a party when everyone else is drinking,
Yes.
and you're not. Have one beer.
Well, but
One.
you're also doing something positive here. This is like item number 37.
Oh, you're going to read the notes. Okay.
Just a couple, the ones that apply. Don't keep cravings to yourself because of shame or embarrassment or fear of appearing weak. Always share the cravings no matter how often they pop up.
I'm doing that.
So you're doing the right thing.
See?
I'm trying to endorse you here.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Addiction shrinks your life.
Hmm.
You won't run I'll tell you what, you start drinking, you won't run every day.
Good.
I think we should move on from this.
Oh, we've
Why?
been told?
Yeah.
By who?
Oh no! Don't. You're not supposed to say that on the air. You're going to push Kirky
To
over
move
the
on
edge.
from this?
I don't think this is good radio right now. We're doing the alcohol.
Okay, stop, Curtis. Stop. You want to talk to Kirk about that? You do it at the break. God.
What does he mean? What are you saying?
Just when I think he's
MoveOn.org.
honest.
Did
to
someone
God.
tell you that we can't talk about it?
Did you call Ron Borges?
Yeah, I want to
You better
talk to
start
Borges.
talking right now. Seriously.
Did you call
You
Ron
better-
Borges?
What are you saying?
It sounds uncomfortable. If I were in my car, I wouldn't enjoy this
Okay,
conversation.
stop.
I'm going to lose
stop.
my
Don't-
mind.
Don't
I'm
lose
serious.
it. Don't-
I'm serious.
Honest to God.
Can you believe this guy?
No, I can't. Did you call Ron Borges yet? Did you text him? I'm asking a question over here. Is he on the mic?
I don't know.
can't see him.
I have no idea. I was rolling in sound for the headlines. I don't know what you're talking about.
We,
You don't
we
know. We
discussed
spent
Ron
half
Borges.
an hour
What should
talking
we,
about
what
Ron
should we talk
Borges'
about,
column.
Chris? Okay, you don't think this is good radio if you're in your car. What should we talk about right now?
It seemed to me that you were uncomfortable.
Okay, he
with
asked
this.
the question.
Not at all.
What
Not
should we
at-
talk
not
about?
Not at all. What should we talk about?
I was trying to help you out.
Oh,
I didn't know.
God.
Chris, I swear to God, I don't need your help, man. I don't need your help on the air. I'm fine.
Are you new here?
what-
Are you new here, Chris Curtis? Are you new here?
Did you think that was bad radio?
It doesn't matter.
Did you
If
think
he,
it
if
was or
he thinks
no?
it's bad radio, you can bring it up to him at the break. Do you really think Kirk wants to hear that during the
Did you
segment?
think it was bad?
And
No.
he asked you a
It's
question.
also
What
the
should
day
we
after
do?
St.
And you can't
Patrick's Day
answer
that
it.
everybody listening is hungover driving to work, right?
God.
What are we supposed to talk about then?
He won't answer. Listen,
He
the
doesn't know.
answer will
What?
have nothing to do
What?
with the question.
Did you think it was? I'm just asking you. Did you think it was bad radio?
It was not bad. No, it was
I mean,
not
it wasn't
bad.
the greatest thing
Wasn't
ever,
the
but
greatest
it's
thing
an
ever,
honest
but
conversation.
Wasn't as good as your podcast.
No, but it's an honest conversation. These are things I'm actually thinking right now.
Right.
I mean, what should we talk about, Chris?
It's entirely my fault.
What should we
Chris,
talk about?
could you please
Answer the
answer
question.
this question?
I'm not kidding. It's
I don't
not me
want
yelling
Kirk
at
to
you
go
some
home.
act.
Can you answer that question?
What should we talk about? This isn't me yelling at you as some shtick. What should we talk about? You interrupted us in the middle of a segment to say it's not good radio. What should we talk about?
I think that we should be discussing something other than this
Okay,
because
answer. Please, God.
Other than
Please,
Chris,
God.
give
please.
me an example
Answer.
right now.
Just say Celtics. Anything. Bruins. Anything.
What?
Say it.
What?
John
what?
Farrell's article.
What?
Say John Farrell. Say
John
anything.
Farrell. Say John Farrell.
John Farrell.
Okay, John Farrell.
Okay, John Farrell.
So you have to call Ron Borges and find out if he'll come on with us so we can ask Ron Borges why he wrote an entire, and that's a pretty large column,
About 1,000
John,
words, I
about
said.
1,000 words.
You missed that segment, Chris? That we spent a half an hour talking about.
I
John
was
Farrell?
rolling in sound. from
Forget the
CBS.
rolling in sound.
Just
Did
say
you miss
yes.
that?
Just say yes.
Answer.
Okay, good.
And
We'll
give
be-
up
yes.
with the police. I don't care about that story. We all know it's some guy. We know who it is. We all know who it is. They'll report it, and then what? Then what happens after that? You find out who it is, then what?
I think it helps our show if we
How?
break news.
How? Well, okay. We all know who it is, though, right?
Yeah.
So then we'll just wait. So stop chasing that. Jesus Christ. In the middle of a segment?
In the last hour, we talked about John Farrell.
No, we talked about Ron
The
Borges.
beleaguered John Farrell, who sat down apparently and kind of had this one-on-one conversation was fairly open with Ron Borges. And what we want to know, did he mention or refuse to mention, either one, Jess Moran?
There is no reference in Ron's piece, and it's a long one, his column, I should say, to John Farrell and Jess Moran. Now, is it the biggest thing in the world? No, probably not. But if you're talking about a beleaguered manager who is on a short list, a short leash, then don't you have to ask him,
Of course.
is this part of the distraction?
Of course.
Ron
it's-
either did not, or if he did and John Farrell said no comment, he didn't include anything, any reference whatsoever in the column.
Nothing.
Which seems
Right.
unusual.
And it, you know what? It's a big, big story because everything else, the Pablo Sandoval story, or Hanley at first, they all
Travis Shaw.
Travis Shaw. That's up to Farrell. At least we think it is. Farrell at least has a vote on whether Sandoval starts and the better player sits.
Yes.
and all that. And it all begins and ends with this short leash. Wouldn't you agree? John Farrell cannot get off to a slow start. He just can't. Or your new manager is Torey Lovello.
You can't write about distractions and not mention the biggest distraction of all. It's
Right,
ridiculous.
That's true.
It's insane.
And you talk about his life and his appreciation
This is
of
not-
life.
this is not-
And by the way, you or actually it was Tangway, and I don't know if you agreed or not. Tangway said, and he did his best to defend Jess
He
and
did.
John and love conquers all and all. What was his thing?
The
You
heart
can't-
needs what the
you
heart
can't-
wants.
no,
what it
his
wants.
thing is you can't help who you love. So Jess Moran falls in love. There's nothing she can do about it. She can't,
Well, that's
resist.
different. You can help. I don't think you can help who you fall in love with. What you do after that is different.
Right.
Right? I mean, you can't help who you fall in love with.
You talked about this in your podcast with Richard Deitch and the Jackie McMullen, the great Jackie McMullen interview that
This
they
isn't.
did in the afternoon.
This isn't good radio.
Okay, I'm doing my best to get this psychopath past this.
I know you jump on me all the
interruption.
time, but this is,
I'm
I
trying.
think, not without justification on my end here. I'm going to go in
that's
there.
Why
I'm
I'm
going to
trying.
murder him during this next
That's
commercial
why I'm
break.
trying. No, I will.
Okay?
I will.
Are
Can
you-
you
Or
allow
you're
me
just
to?
trying not to commute on Monday in the snowstorm. That's all you're trying to do.
It's a factor.
Kirk, can you let me handle it? Can
No,
you let me
no,
handle it? Yes,
no,
you will.
no.
Can you go downstairs and get your
No.
toast
Some
and
chocolate
peanut
milk.
butter?
No,
Get some chocolate milk.
I am going to
Yes.
strangle him.
Dino, take him downstairs for some chocolate milk.
I'll
and
buy.
Put an
No.
arm around him.
Dottie will make you feel better.
I'm going to handle this.
Better
I'm
ain't
going to drive
Dottie?
to Southie. I'm going to take Fudgy and throw him in the water and watch him drown.
Okay, that's fine. After
Okay.
10 o'clock.
No, I'm going to do about 9. Take the last hour.
No, you're going to stay
No,
here
he's
and do
already
the
said he's
show.
leaving at 9. I have another thing that I'd like to spank Ron Borges for. He writes a paragraph here, and it seems to me Farrell's answer begged for him to get to the elephant, literally almost, in the room. Farrell says repeatedly, the team's fifth starter will be made based on who is pitching the best, not service time or contract value. Now, if you're sitting there and you're talking to John Farrell and he says the fifth starter will be determined by not contract value,
Right.
not service time, but by who is pitching the best, what would your follow-up be based on what the hell we're talking about all spring?
How about third
Does that
base?
apply to the
Skipper?
fat-ass third
No
baseman, John?
kidding. Is that
Yes.
relevant? I'm
And-
telling you, this is.
And
this
you know
is-
what? The focus is not going to be on Sandoval. If he starts booting the ball and sucking at the plate, it's the camera's going to turn literally
On
to the
John.
manager.
Farrell cam.
And Shaw's going to be on the team. It's not like the answer's in Pawtucket. The answer's going to be on the bench. So the focus will be on the manager. And when he has the balls, that's how it's going to be interpreted. When he has the guts
The
to
Yankee.
pull the trigger,
Yeah.
sit the fat guy down, put the better player in the third, and if Shaw does what we think he's
Right.
going to do, which is play adequate third base,
At least try.
then Sandoval. Then the question is, what then with Sandoval? What do you do? He has 4 more years. What do you do with Sandoval? And everyone will give Farrell credit, but he will have that. Literally, that elephant will still be in the room.
I'm telling you, there's two. Sorry, Dino. There's two Borgeses. There's Belichick Borges, and there's everything else.
That's right.
If this is Bill Belichick, he is barbecuing him, rolling him around day after day, and killing him. But because it's not Belichick, he treats him differently. Now, that I hate to sound like Jerry Thornton, but that's not being Thornton. That's reality. That is
That's true.
absolute reality.
And you killed Shaughnessy, and Shaughnessy wasn't doing one-on-one with Farrell. He was doing other things. He was doing Bruins versus Celtics, and you were killing him for not doing Farrell.
Right.
I mean, if Shaughnessy sits down and does a one-on-one with Farrell with the tape recorder rolling, does he ask about Jess Moran?
I don't think so.
I do. I think he does.
I
In
don't
fact,
think
I think
so.
Borges did. Somehow he left it
Why?
out.
Then why didn't he mention it? Why didn't he
You
mention
got
it
to
in the
cover your
story?
ass, Jerry.
Oh, I agree. It's a mistake, but it had to have been asked. It had to have been.
Well, I hope
And
we could talk to him
seriously,
today.
I'm sorry, if Farrell says the fifth starter will be determined not by his contract value, but who is pitching the best, why are you not compelled to say Does that apply to your third baseman, John Farrell?
Right, totally. Of course.
It's a
Absolutely.
great question, and we'll ask Ron about it when we get him on.
Tom's in Connecticut before we take a break. Tom, what's up?
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Hey, I just listened to you three guys going at your producer over there, and I am a long-time listener. I've listened to you guys for years and years and years. When you had the other guy that took Menahan's place, he was outstanding. But I want to tell you something. Your radio in the last year or two has gone nothing but downhill. Now, Jerry, you are the smartest guy on that radio station, no doubt about it.
Whoa,
No
whoa,
doubt.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
But
whoa.
Your station has gone downhill, and that guy, that Minahan, is nothing but a zero. He
Now, how'd
is
this
the
call get
worst-
through, I wonder?
He is the worst radio man on that station. When you guys can sit there, Minahan especially, not you, Jerry, and not you, John. You two guys are top shelf. But Minahan sits there and he criticizes all these other people on this radio station. When you got somebody like Mike Adams, who I rate the second best on that radio station, Jerry, you being first,
That's good.
and John, you being third.
I'd have a different
But
ranking from
Minahan,
Mikey, but that's
you're-
fine.
Minahan, you're as bad as Jerry, the other guy on the evening show.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
with-
whoa, 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 whoa. Listen,
That's a
listen
low
to me.
blow.
Listen to me.
Whoa,
Listen,
whoa, whoa.
listen
All right,
to me.
Tom, quick
Tom,
question.
Tom,
this
Tom.
is, can I ask?
Yeah, it's fine, but Tom,
Tom,
he's
Tom
gonna
likes
shut up
me.
then.
Wants to hear
Tom.
your personal problems.
I think that
because you go
Tom,
on
wait.
and on and on
Jesus,
and on
Tom,
and
let
on
him go.
we gotta-
about things you.
I was going to ask you, Tom, what do you hate about Minahan? There's lots to hate. Tell me what
Everything.
really.
Everything.
Be specific.
Your voice.
Yeah.
Your attitude. You got the worst attitude in the world. Let
Yep.
me tell you something. I had over 250 people work for me when I was working. I'm
I don't.
retired.
You're a
now.
liar. Nobody
But if
ever
I had
worked for you.
somebody-
That's a lie.
I'm lying.
You're
all right.
lying.
You
You're a
come see
liar.
me. But let
You're
me
lying.
say, hey,
Stop
you don't
lying.
call anybody
If-
a
hey,
liar.
Let him
Let's-
talk.
You don't
Come
call
on.
Shut up.
It's my
anybody a liar.
show.
Shut your
You're
mouth.
a liar. Your show stinks because of you.
Do you listen every day?
Every single day. I
Thank
try
you
to.
very much. I appreciate that. Thank you for
But
listening to
But he
me every
listened
single
before you
day.
were here.
I don't listen because of you. I listen because of Jerry. Jerry is an intelligent person who speaks knowledge, not only about sports, but about the world affairs.
Right.
Jerry is outstanding.
Like
When
what?
those guys are on television every morning, I used to watch them. Those
Kirk-
guys
Kirk
are
Kirk
on
got us
ruined that.
ticked off.
Yes.
That's true.
Minahan, you are the worst. I don't understand how your boss on that station can keep you alive. Because if you worked for me, I would have fired you a long time ago.
Jerry,
You
is his
are
name Jerry?
Terrible.
Tom.
No, it's
Tom.
Tom.
Tom, if you knew the money I was making right now, you would actually vomit. Did you hang up?
He hung up.
You
Oh,
puss.
he hung up.
Hey, these guys do this, and they can't take it. They can't take it. They're obsessed with Kirk Minahan. He just said he listens every day. Oh, he liked it better with the other guy, Meter, who said 4 words a show. And now it's, it's great. You guys were great when you were on Nessa. No, I love Jerry. Yeah, I did. Curtis puts the call through, of course, because Curtis now hates me. Everybody hates me. I think you two hate me now.
Yep.
I think everyone's out to get me right now. I totally am starting to believe that everyone at this station, it's a conspiracy to try and get me. Guess what's going to happen? It's not going to work. You'll be gone. You'll be gone. The 3 idiots after us will be gone, finally. The 3
It's
guys
just
after
not
them,
my jam.
That guy thought you were right there with Thornton. You and
Nobody,
Thornton.
listen to me, okay?
All
You can take my children. All right? You can remove body parts from me if you like.
Well, Harry, not
You could kill me. Yeah,
not
Harry,
Kate.
not Kate. Okay. You can kill me. Don't compare me to Jerry Thornton. That's all. Do I ask for a lot? Am I a diva? All
Yes.
I'm saying is
Yes, you are.
just please don't do that. My life, please. I'm going through enough. I don't need that right now.
Dom's
Okay.
in Linfield before we take a break. Dom, what do you have? This ought to be good.
I think it's the opposite. He's a breath of fresh air, Minahan.
Shut up.
Hey, we got to go to headlines. Dom, where you
Where you
been?
been, Dom?
I was witness protection for a little while, but the show is wonderful with him. A breath of fresh air. He gets right to the point. There's no nonsense, and it's nice to hear that on the radio once in a while. He almost reminds me of Howard Stern.
Oh, God.
It's
Yeah.
just not my jam.
I'd say more Jerry. I'm more Jerry Thornton than Howard.
Headlines next with the monkey.
Hey, I'm Maurice. As a barber, you might think my scissors are my main tool, but really, it's Metro. That's where I got my iPhone 7. Its camera makes sharing my cuts as simple as snip, snap, share.
Right now, get an iPhone 7 with a camera that shoots 4K for just $49.99 when you switch to the #1 brand in prepaid. Metro by T-Mobile. Rule your day. Requires port in of eligible number not currently active on T-Mobile network or active on Metro in past 90 days and verification of ID and independent database. Limit 4 per account/household. 32 gigabyte iPhone 7 model only. No tethering. See store for details and terms and conditions.